Thank you everyone for tuning in this week to Gaming Discourse FM. I am your host, DLC, and tonight, as always, we got some great tracks for you. This is a redux of our very first episode. You've heard it before, and it's not to the quality of some of our recent episodes. Might have a surprise for you as well, but let's get started. We started off there with the standard battle theme from Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. One of the more popular spin-offs of the Pokemon series, Gale of Darkness served as essentially a full 3D version of the Pokemon games, but it was never treated as such, probably because the handheld versions of the games were still such a powerhouse upon the release. This track was composed by Tsukasa Tawada, who has been in the industry for a very long time. He's responsible for the sound design on Dragon Quest VI and Dragon Quest VII, along with producing tracks for Kyo Yugekitai, Moon Crystal, and more recently some of the modern Harvest Moon titles. And that's all I have for that track. Let's move on. Port Ormos was composed by Yu Peng Chen, who is the main composer behind the Genshin Impact series. The songs that he has produced throughout the game have become quite notable for their quality and inclusion of traditional instruments and regional sounds. Inazuma, Liyue, and Sumeru all have songs that capture really great moments and just wonderful sounds. Let's get moving to the block. Lots of old songs in this one. Ninja Gaiden Shadow is probably my favorite, but there's some classics besides that. Let's get it rolling on this group of tracks. First off, we have Ninja Gaiden Shadow for the Game Boy, Jungle from Contra on the NES, Big Ship from Twinbee on the Super Famicom, and Return from Radiant Silvergun on the Saturn. The last track was the Game Over theme from Batman the Video Game on the NES from Sunsoft. Naomi Kodaka also wrote the soundtrack for the NES and Genesis version. He has created tracks for the Albert Odyssey series, Fester's Quest, and Journey to Silius. I swear we will feature one of those someday. Kodaka has retired from game composition in recent years, and he is now a professor at the Nagoya College of Music. We've come to the last track of the night, and it's one of my favorites. Wild Arms is an early JRPG from Sony, and this track is the Overworld theme. An excellent song that encapsulates the sound of spaghetti western films, but somehow ends up fitting when applied to the sci-fi themed game. Enjoy. This track was composed by Michiko Naruke, who is responsible for the compositions for the songs in the first through fourth Wild Arm games, and also the remake of the first game, Alter Code F. Valis 3, Half Minute Hero, and Atelier Furus are some of the games that she has provided songs for, along with creating some remixes for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, namely Bloody Tears from Castlevania and Mad Monster Mansion from Banjo-Kazooie. Quite the resume from her indeed. We'd like to support these composers and games as much as we can. The names are highlighted throughout the show to let you know not only who composed these tracks, but where you may be able to find and support them. Spotify is an option along with places like Bandcamp, YouTube, and SoundCloud if applicable. I thank you once again for listening to today's show, so make sure to follow our SoundCloud and YouTube channel at Gaming Discourse FM, like and subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when we post a new episode. Follow the Patreon for our sister channels if you would like to hear video game news and watch video content. You can do that by following the Gaming Discourse on YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon. Thank you very much, and keep gaming.